Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Grunting Pixel Podcast, also known as the Grunting Podcast. I am the other Jared, and with me we have
George Washington.
Dan
George
Pixel.
Washington.
Featuring a dime. That's all Dan's
No,
worth.
this is not a dime. This is George Washington. Nick, dimes are not George Washington, you fucking idiot. Learn
So
your
it looks
own
like
currency,
featuring
you
a dime.
We
stupid
have
idiot.
a president joining us today in our podcast. How's it going, Mr. Washington?
I'm feeling a little cold today
Yeah?
Is it because you're dead?
because I'm metal.
Oh.
That's because you're in the cold ground, but that works too.
So that was Dan.
So there's two types of people in this world. I'm metal, and then everybody else, is it because you're fucking dead? Is it because you're a dead piece of dead shit, you dead fucking asshole, dead idiot?
That's precisely what we were thinking.
Look at my nails.
They're
Pretty
very... No, they're nice. They're nice and manicured.
Did you shave them up?
Do I shave my nails? Yes. They grow a lot of hair. I have to shave them every day.
Grunting Pixel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Grunting Pixel Podcast, also known as the Grunting Podcast. I'm the other Jared. With me, I have the Dan Pixel. Say something.
Something.
All right. And then we have Steph
Hey, what's up?
and Alex.
Yo.
I'm just going to
All
go ahead
right.
and blow the
Oh my
lid
God,
off this
Cortana
whole
just-
operation right now and just say
What?
this is the second time doing the intro, and on the first time we all said we should come up with a catchphrase, had the opportunity to do that, and we still didn't take that opportunity. So
Yeah, well, honestly, I can't really think of that.
that's the
And
homework
I
for
can't
next
think of
week.
quality.
My
There we go. Think of a
catchphrase is
catchphrase.
Yo.
The homework for next week is to get come up with a catchphrase.
Mine's already
I
yo.
just...
No, you
I
got to
just
do better
wanna-
than that. Yo's not a
I just
catchphrase.
want to say that, like, little... not intermission or whatever, but I just want to interject. I can't speak today.
Inject.
It's all right.
Cortana, okay, this is my issue with Cortana right now. So, like, Windows 10 or Windows Phone or whatever, you have Cortana, and, like, if you have, like, a mic attached, which I do right now, she responds to, hey, Cortana. I just want to let you know that she never listens to me. So, eventually I stopped, using her until... Well, it's not that I started using her. Every time, like, just when I said hey, she listened. And now it bringed up the search results of, oh my god, Cortana just.
Yeah, that's what happens
And
with my
so
Xbox.
she doesn't listen. When I say hey, Cortana, I'm saying it right now, she's not popping up. But when I just said hey, she popped up. Again, she's not popping up. It's only when it's inconvenient. Go ahead.
Mrs. Doubtfire, can I ask a question? Turn it off. Turn off that.
Yeah. I turn mine on and she doesn't listen either. I don't know.
She-
But I'll be in the middle of a conversation downstairs. My Xbox One and just turn on.
I
So,
use
I
her
don't
to.
know. Microsoft.
I
Anyways,
use her to check the weather.
Okay, so turn off voice. Make it so you have to type it in.
How do I do that? I'll figure out how to do that later.
What's Cortana?
Maybe you could program her to respond when you say "Hey, bitch."
Al, you'll know what Cortana is whenever your computer finally ships.
Whenever it
Yeah.
finally decides to show up. Then.
Yeah.
Well, I have it and I don't know what it is. I mean,
I know that it's basically Siri for Windows, but I can tell you. Okay, we have a fun game. I have a fun game that everybody can participate
least-
in. Somebody
what if I
give
want
us
to
some
know
like
jokes?
game show, like game show music. How many
that's
times have I used Cortana?
Hey, Cortana.
You guys are supposed to answer.
How many times has Dan Pixel used
0.
Cortana?
0?
You guys can't pick the same answer.
Oh,
One.
But answer.
Quincy.
3.
2.
The correct answer is 0.
Oh! What do I win?
You win a new fuck you!
Oh, I'm so jealous.
I always wanted one of those.
I want
That is the
fuck you
prize of the
forever.
century.
You won this quarter, which
Oh.
nobody knows what means because
That's
I
the
left that all
most
out.
you've ever paid me.
And
It
this
is.
prop
It's
makes
probably
it,
more than anything you've ever gotten from this channel. So
I'm gonna go ahead and
this
say
is
that
also
we
probably
are
more
not-
than I've ever gotten from this channel. So
We are not prop comics.
no, I am. I'm a prop. I'm not a
I'm just saying.
He's a
We'll
prop
leave it at that.
guru.
But I'm going to skip the "How was your week?" shit.
No.
because apparently we all had a good week.
No, you
well,
get-
I
that is
never
a
got to share
stable,
my
Jared.
week.
You got to follow the fucking schedule.
I
Have a
tried.
schedule. We have structure in this podcast.
We're trying.
I think the
Try and
last
stick-
time
Why
we
do you
talked
think
about
that
it,
this podcast isn't successful? Because we don't have any structure.
I think the
Ryan
last
did
time
stick to the script, but I only have last week's script.
But that's the same script. All we do is say the same shit anyways. Just
think the
use
last
it.
time-
Riff
the
off
last-
of it. Improv, motherfucker.
I think that
He thinks that.
Yeah?
Yep.
I think the last time we talked about our weeks, Dan was like, "Wow, this podcast is the shittiest thing I had."
No, we got like totally off track, which was what made it shitty.
Oh,
My week
that's
was
what we do.
fine. I had
Yeah.
a fine week.
If we were
He
on
has a
track,
fine
I'd be
week. He had a
concerned.
fine week.
Nothing really to note other than the fact that I did the gym again, which isn't really to note.
He
Actually,
did the gym thing again. How was the gym thing?
How was
did
the
it.
How was the gym?
I did it. The gym thing.
You did.
Yeah, how was
What
gym?
you do? What you do? What you do at the gym?
Well, Jim's all right. He's got this new piercing on the tip of his dick. They call it Prince something or another. Prince
Prince Albert?
Ali.
Oh, Prince. Oh, it's kind of.
Yeah,
kinda
he
like,
Prince
got it
Ali,
stuck
Fabulous He.
in his brother's braces, which I don't want to know how that all went about. But
Yeah.
yeah,
that was for Steph.
orthodontists. Are pretty
Thanks.
expensive.
That's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Well, it's for her pleasure.
Yeah.
Orthodontists.
and
Just
she
mine,
was
'cause I have
pleasure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been the same normal week. I just been trying to edit and get money and help my family and get not fat and apply for work and all that shit. So it's just been a kind of busy week, but nothing too notable. I didn't like get struck by lightning or have
Damn
sex.
it!
or
Come
anything.
on.
Oh, that's
There's
definitely
lightning in the
interesting.
wintertime.
Oh, there is.
Is
And
there?
it struck like a circle around me, but it never actually hit.
Dude, that's pretty bad when you're rejected even by lightning, man.
Yeah,
Even by-
trust me, nobody wants to touch me. It's fine.
Nah.
I mean,
Oh.
I have, but
Yeah, but you didn't want to. You
no,
did
sure,
it.
I did. I
That's
didn't
'cause
want.
you're
I
cheap.
forced
Yeah.
you to do it by grabbing your hand. But
Yeah, I was practically barfing, but it was okay.
It's all right.
That's okay.
My week though,
thanks.
pretty all right.
Yeah,
Thanks. Yeah.
pretty all right,
outside of-
huh?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking hate
Yeah.
that. For anybody who wants to just piss me off, like this is
It's
Dan,
totally an acceptable
And
way
You
to reply.
really shouldn't
It's
tell the
totally
internet
acceptable.
what pisses you off. Like, I
No,
just
it's-
want to tell you right now.
It's okay. I will just because I think
It's
it's
when
funny.
people give me thumbs up on freaking videos.
Yeah, you know what I hate? When you subscribe to the channel. Never
Oh,
do
it pisses me
that.
off.
But
Okay. This is not even close to that, but so when you're talking to someone, having like
Yeah?
a nice, deep, meaningful conversation, and you tell them a story or something, and then
We've
they just
never had a deep, meaningful conversation. Half of our conversations like, hey, Alex, would you rather have a big dick but it looks like Sonic, or would you rather die in a fire named feces?
Well,
we
actually,
never have deep conversations in
actually-
our
Hold
lives.
on. That's a good question.
Actually, that's actually false information that we've never had deep conversations. But
Well, can we pause for a
morals-
moment and
yeah,
address the question? Because
sure.
Yeah,
that's,
would you
no, I'm
guys
just
rather
kidding,
would
guys.
you guys rather have a
go ahead,
big dick
Jared.
We'll
Go
address
that
it
looked
later.
like
no,
Sonic,
no,
or
it's fine.
Go ahead.
gotta come fast?
You were having a deep and meaningful conversation,
no,
and I interrupted
no.
you.
I'm just saying, like, when you're talking to someone and telling them a story and putting some effort into your conversation, and all they respond back to is, yeah? It's
Okay,
like,
but
what
here's
the
the
fuck
thing.
do I even say to that?
Here's the thing. It's never been like, so, I just found out that my girlfriend has, like, herpes, and, like, I don't know, I don't really know what to do. I was kind of wondering what your opinion is. And then I say, yeah, that's never how that is. It's usually just like, oh, man, I can't believe that this fucking thing didn't ship. And I go, yeah? Like, can you not believe that? And he's like, I fucking hate when you do that shit. And I'm just like, what do you want me to say? Yeah, I'm so sad that your thing didn't ship, as I'm just repeating what you already told me. It's just like, it lets me know that I'm listening to you. I am giving
say
you
yeah a
haptic
lot.
feedback.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah?
So now
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like all self-conscious every time
Yeah?
I use,
Yeah?
say yeah.
But no, that's,
well.
I mean, it doesn't, it bothers me, but it doesn't really bother me, so, but, it does. a little
It bothers him.
bit. It bothers me a little bit, but. Anyways, outside of the Dan.
So wait, does that bother you?
Yeah?
Yeah?
No.
Other than, no. I don't think so.
No?
But other than that, life's good. Life's good. Life's fantastic.
I'll keep that in mind.
Life's fantastic.
Yeah?
Oh, that's sexy, man. What
I
the
know, right? Like my helmet.
Back on track,
Oh,
Jared.
is that
Come on,
like a-
you're the host of this boast.
Well, yeah. Well, if it was my every week job, maybe I'd be more on this. All right. So Steph,
what you haven't realized is I've been training you this entire time.
Nice.
It's just been...
shit. Every time we get to how Steph's week was, it falls off track.
It's
never even gotten to that point.
I don't have anything interesting to say. Like, I went to work, I got home, I guess I started, like, going through all these shows that I've been missing out, I guess. I've been kind of, like, on a rampage of watching, like, cartoon analysis and just really weird things. So I guess I've just been catching up on, like, older shows that I've missed. And some newer ones, but aside from that, nothing really too noteworthy. Week's still young.
How about your week, Jared? Have you gotten any new safety
have had a great
guidelines?
Week. We are in the midst of securing a job in Atlanta.
Georgia?
I know nobody cares about this. This is a big deal for me. And if we get this job, which it's looking really good, it will be our first job in the Atlanta branch that we've secured, which means that I would have been the person who secured our first job in DC, Connecticut, and Atlanta, which is a huge deal to me. It's like
so you're pretty much going to run the company soon, right?
Well, I don't know about that, but so I'm really like pumped that then we're like working really hard to make sure that the client is happy with everything.
When you do run everything and you own that bitch and like you're just like sitting back, kicking your feet up, you got your fucking cigar and shit, I want you to get me a job there that's really easy but pays a lot.
Yeah, I'm good at my job, but I don't have the work ethic to become like the boss. I have no interest in being the boss. Like, I don't want the responsibility.
Can you hire me as your boss? Because I'll do it.
If anybody in my company is listening to this, I love my job and I am a very hard worker and I want the responsibility.
I don't have the work ethic, but I'm a hard worker.
But if I'm being realistic,
but
I
for
don't have
anyone
the
who's
work
listening,
ethic.
I love it.
That's like somebody being just like, I got so fucking drunk after work, but if anybody from work's listening, I didn't have any alcohol.
I don't drink.
Yeah, I don't drink at all.
What
is drunk?
Too.
How does drink?
But so I'm really excited about that, and I've been bragging to my wife and everybody about it because I'm happy. So, anyways, I'm glad I got that out. All right, so podcast over.
You just keep asking you just keep saying to your wife, like, "Hey, wife, guess what happened at work this week?" She's like, "Jared, this is the third time." Guess what happened?
Yeah,
you almost sealed the Atlanta job, didn't you? How did you know?
Say it like you mean it.
Say it like you're surprised. God damn it, woman! I worked hard for this. You fucking
keep making my sandwich, but act surprised. No,
More bacon on that. More bacon.
But so that's good. Everybody had a good week, I guess.
Yeah.
It sounds like it. So on to our first topic now. We've got 5 minutes.
Oh, well, topic. Can I interject a topic before we do that?
Sure.
Sure.
How are we going to talk in 5 minutes? That's too little time.
All right, 5 minutes over.
Damn!
Good time, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching.
Did I say 5 minutes? I meant 5 seconds.
Well, that took way longer than 5 seconds, so your math is terrible bad.
That's all right. I'm an estimator. I'm not an exact.
I only do math every day. Listen, I do math all day at work. So as soon as I get home, I deliberately do it wrong. Mm-hmm. I know the right answer. The right answer just pops in my head. But I deliberately give the wrong answer just because I don't want to have to do it.
I know for a fact that you can turn off your brain because once I get home, that's exactly what I do. So.
All right, Jared.
I'm sorry. Did you say something? I turned off my brain.
Yeah.
Question. If we have 1,400 cubic yards of concrete,
$50,000.
Wow, that's crazy, dude. Mm-hmm. I could never do that.
Also, maybe I'm wrong, Jared, but do you measure your concrete in cubic yards? Like, I feel like that's a weird.
What
is that? How you measure it?
Yeah, because that's how it's measured. Like,
it is. It is cubic yards.
The concrete trucks carry 9 cubic yards of concrete maximum in their trucks.
Wow, get fucking destroyed, me.
It's all measured in cubic yards.
Absolutely destroyed myself.
Making this shit up?
It's weird to use imperial measurements
we're gonna go down a little bit of rabbit hole because Alex just said, "What do you think? I was just making this shit up." Me and Alex used to do this thing where he'll be like, he would take a picture of like something he was working on in his lab, and it's just a bunch of like numbers and alpha 9er, and it would just be like, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I know what that means," and I would write out this like really shit made up thing. And then I would be like, dude, check this out. And it would just be like a picture of like a hypergraph hierarchy inside of Maya. And I'd be like, what does this mean? And he'd be like, oh, it's this. And he would type out this bullshit thing. So yeah, of course I thought you were just making it up. I thought you were doing that exact same thing to Jared.
Well, now you know.
Get wrecked.
Get destroyed me.
Yeah?
Yeah?
No, George Washington.
Fucking wrecked, dude.
That's my new favorite thing to do with that, because Alex hates but I like going like, yeah? Just like turning into it, just like the
That's interesting.
Yeah,
kind of like
that's
a dog.
so funny.
yeah.
Like a dog.
So my kid's been doing something recently that's been driving me
Drugs?
insane.
Meth.
I know it. My wife says it's a phase. I think he's got like a
Cerebral
serious
palsy.
mental disorder and needs to get some help. But because he's just constantly saying one word over and over again, and that's why. And it's driving me insane. Like we were doing like Lego has their own Minecraft collection, and we were building this Lego Minecraft, and I'm like, all right, so we're building this part, and he's like, why?
Every kid.
And I'm like, well, because that's just the next part that's in the book, and he's like, why? And I'm like, because if we don't follow instructions, we won't build it right. Why? And I'm like, because I'm going to kill somebody someday. I'm going to go through a murdering spree, and I want
trust me, that's not
the jury to be able to know that I was a good father.
Your kid does not have a mental issue. That is just there is a stage in a kid's life. There's been several comics. I think even Louis C.K. had a bit about it, where where just kids just ask why and why and why and why and why. And the worst part is there's nothing you can say that can like force them to stop. Like there's no logical like end to it. Like you could be like, because that's the way the universe works. Why?
No, I think
don't fucking know. I don't know why the universe works. That's just how it works. Okay.
But yeah, I can usually handle it until after the third why. That's usually my breaking point.
Why?
It's just when I break.
Why?
Maybe the kid has all the answers, and it's just
get
testing
impatient.
you.
I was waiting for the third why. Oh well. Anyways,
we didn't want to go there. We wanted to get you right to like the brink, and then just leave you hanging off the edge. Do you want to know why?
That's cool. No, I'm okay. I'm okay with two whys. I can. Why?
Why?
And fuck.
He just leaves. Podcast over.
That's
Why?
it. We're done.
Why is the podcast?
I shouldn't do that because it takes me like 3 years to put my headsets back in my ears.
Yeah?
Why does it take you 3 years?
Why does it take you 3 years to put it on?
So anyways, yeah. So that was fun.
That was great.
That's precisely why I never want to have kids. Just for that.
Oh man, yes, they're not without their flaws, just like any other person. But
no, I'm flawless.
Totally worth it. I mean, come on. I have an excuse to play with toys again. I mean, come on. We've all been to Walmart or Target, and we go to the toy section, and we're like, I want to buy this toy, but I'm an adult.
Here's the problem, Jared.
Loophole.
You had two options there. Mm-hmm. You could have either have gone with confidence and just not give a fuck and buy as many Barbie dolls as you want to play with, but you chose to go with the kid as an excuse instead.
Because I think that's the better of the two options.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty successful at getting Barbie dolls from like Targets and Walmarts and stuff. Sure,
Why?
I get a few looks, but you know what I do?
But you like the looks. You're like, I love attention. Just keep it coming.
Yeah, especially negative attention.
It comes in the form of dirty looks.
Give me negative attention.
Negative attention is the best, I think.
Yeah.
Hey Dan, you look so shitty today, Dan. You look like a fucking fuck. Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Dude, yeah?
That's the worst nicest thing I've ever said.
Alright, so shopping with Dan is a weird experience.
Anything with me is a weird experience.
It's because you're always asking people to hit the like button. subscribe. and it's weird because like when we're at when you're cashing out and like you're scanning your credit card and you're asking the cash register person at the cash register.
I'm talking
like
specifically to the cash register.
Yeah, it's like I can't see the like button. I want to like your service, but I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm like swiping my credit card and signing, and then there's like confirm or cancel, and I'm like, I don't know which button to press. Where's the like button? I like my signature.
No, this is hanging out with Dan in a nutshell. Ready? So let's just say we're like at the drive-thru, right? And we're gonna be ordering something.
I love these stories.
Okay, hi,
I love these stories.
It'll be like, hi, yeah, I'm just gonna have 2 cheesy bean and rice beers. Like just out of nowhere, and I'm just like, dude, I'm trying to order some food, and Dan's like, oh no, he's like, I just like making everybody feel uncomfortable.
That was a good story. My favorite story. And Alex, like, I think so. Alex can get kind of like mad at me sometimes, and like I understand that, but I think this was one of the few times where like we're driving down the street, and I guarantee you some form of this is running through his head, which is, why am I this dude's friend? Like, why did I put myself in this situation? We were at like a Taco Bell or something like that, and Alex pulls up in the window, comes down, and just like this super cute sounding girl is just like, hey, welcome to Taco Bell, can I take your order? This like really whole thing. And I'm just like, wow, she sounds cute. And he's like, shut up. And then we get to the window, and it was like this really attractive girl. And, you know, Alex is doing this little transaction. I'm just going like, dude, ask her for her number. And he's just like elbowing me back, like trying to tell me to shut up or whatever. And then I'm just like, dude, seriously, ask her. And she's like, have a great day. I'm like, Alex likes you, as he like pulls out.
Nice.
Like, and Alex is just like,
you gotta roll with that, man. You should be like,
he was actually mad at me.
Oh yeah, that's my friend. He's having sex in the back seat. Don't mind him. And or you know, like, hey, my friend wants me to ask you for their number. I'm just humoring him.
And it wasn't even that bad. Like, I know it wasn't even like
man.
that good. I actually think I said he thinks you're hot or something. I think what I think I actually said.
Yeah. Well, and like, here's the thing. Like, Dan can just like go up and be like, hey, babe, you want to go
baby,
book?
and
you
want
to do this? Whereas me, I'm kind of just like,
hi.
Hey. What's up? Like, I don't like. I just get uncomfortable in this situation.
My favorite thing to do down in Florida is we would go, like, Steph would go shopping with me a lot, and it was just fun to try to embarrass her the entire time. So we were, like, in line at, like, a 7-Eleven or something like that. There's, like, 15 people, and, like, this pop song is just playing on the radio or something like that, and I'm, like, literally standing right next to Steph just going, like... just, like, all this, like, shit on her, and she is just, like... trying not to look at me. It's so funny.
Yeah, because that kind of behavior will get you punched straight into the mouth, dude. Like, especially because here's the thing: we're in the middle of or we were in Orlando, Florida at the time, pretty much close by in Orlando, Florida. So like at that point, it's just, well, I mean, it's just like it's one of those things where it's just like, it's like 12 o'clock. I'm just getting a burrito from like 7-Eleven. It's late. I don't want to deal with any of this, any of you.
And of course, at the time, I'm just like, come on, Steph, dance with me. Come on, like drawing attention to it. And she's just like trying to pretend she doesn't know me.
That's when you like always keep like a little card in your purse, like a little index card for whenever Dan is situations, and you just slowly hold it up and it just says, please help me.
No, it should just say I'm with
and you just eat it right in his face. And let the juice squirt on his face.
Yeah,
and
just
that
get
cheeseburger.
those beef juices all over his face.
Oh, I love beef juice. Face. Yeah, all over my vegetarian.
Yeah, see, I have this problem where I just don't give a shit what people think about me.
That's exactly my problem.
Look at this. I mean, this is the look of a person who just doesn't give a shit.
I just twerked on this podcast. Like, that's a literal thing that just happened.
Won't catch me twerking.
So it would probably be bad if you and I were in a situation like that together, Dan.
I want this to happen. Because we need to be in a situation where it's all four of us, and it's just me and you, Jared, just trying to like screw with them two, just the entire
sometimes
time.
I take it too far. Like my wife, she's
no such thing.
She's a very
Jared.
healthy person, blah blah blah. But
far.
she does the Weight Watchers, she does the points. It just keeps her,
in check.
Keeps her fucking
check,
hot.
kind of. we go to a restaurant eating with my parents or whatever, and I'm always like, how many points is that? How many points is that? And you're over your points with that?
You
and she's
sound
like,
just like me. You sound just like me.
She's ordered a salad, and she's like, Jared, man, you know that drives me insane when you do that. It's embarrassing. And I'm like, well, but I want to make sure you're meeting your goals or whatever.
Because literally, you sound so much like me. Because Steph, the other day, she was just like, I got on the scale today and I had lost some weight, so I got excited and I sent Dan a picture of like, hey, look, I'm skinny. And then like later that day, she's like, yeah, I had cookies. And I'm just like, yeah, that's good for your skinny diet. And she's like, no.
That's going straight to your ass.
Yeah, that's going to go right on. All that work you had, all that happiness is going to go right out the window because you just ate fucking cookies.
This is what you got to do, Jared. You have to be in the grocery store, right?
We sound like bad fucking husbands. Like, what's what we do?
You are terrible.
If it really bothered her,
Why am
I
I
would
still
stop
with
doing
you?
it.
Jared,
You can take a
this
joke.
is what you got to do. I have a perfect idea, okay? Outside of your bad husband-esque lifestyle,
being a man.
when you're at the grocery store, she has to kind of be like a couple feet away or something, and you have to pretend like you're looking at something else. And
No,
as
I have
she
to be
looks
like
for
the next
something-
aisle.
Yeah, as she looks at something, you have to be like, "Hey, honey, aren't those gonna put you over your points?" or something like that. Just scream at her.
The best is when you're in a crowded elevator, you fart, and you're like, I'm sorry about my wife, man. She just, she can't
my
control
God.
that shit. She's got that IBS.
It's funny because
That's horrible.
Alex literally
don't
was just
actually
like
do
talking
that. That's
about
pretty
like,
mean.
is that gonna put you over your points? And that's funny, but like I do that shit with even Alex because like Alex and I, you know, we're both trying to be healthier, thinner individuals and stuff like that. So, you know, we're keeping our eyes on our calories. And Alex texts me and he's just like, dude, whatever you do, never do the 12 taco challenge from Taco Bell. And I was just like, I didn't even
now I
say
wanna do
like,
it.
why'd you do it? How was it? Did you complete it? My first text to him was like, dude, what the fuck? That's got to be like 4,000 calories.
It was 2,000.
Your first text was yeah?
Yeah?
And then you're like, dude,
No,
that's
it was-
got to be 4,000.
It was 2,000 calories.
Well, you know, but I'm saying, like, you know, I was guessing, like, that's like 4,000 calories. And you're just like, no, it's just 2,000. It's like, I hope you didn't eat anything else that day.
No,
Jeez.
I didn't.
Is
Not
that
that
it? You just ate
So
four.
what do you win for this challenge?
Nothing, nothing.
You win an
self-depression and
expanded
self-love?
It was
waistline
just- it
and
was
some
just a
serious
competitive-
shits.
Yeah. It was just a competitive challenge amongst friends, and I ate 12 soft tacos in 10 minutes. So, yeah.
Did it
Shit,
actually
man.
take you exactly 10 minutes, or did?
Well, actually, no, not exactly.
Because I think it's a 10-minute time limit, right?
I mean, there wasn't really a time limit, but yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Pretty much 10 minutes.
Nice.
I didn't really time it, but it was about 10 minutes.
Great.
Should be closer to like 2 minutes.
Switch soft tacos to beers, and you're on.
Dude, let's do it.
There we
dude.
go.
You and
12
I.
beers. You're gonna.
If I drink 10 beers in
I'm not
or
college
12
Jared
beers in
anymore, I
10
have to
minutes,
admit.
I'd probably throw up.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not
I
college Jared
probably
anymore.
I'm not college, Jared. Back when I was younger and skinnier.
Back in my beer pong days.
I never even had a college pixel. Like, I was always just kind of like,
That's so weird because I've known you longer as a trade than anything
I know,
else.
I know.
And to
I
hear
know.
you say that is just
Like,
weird.
you're just gonna be talking to your family. Yeah, when I was a young pixel, I just kind of.
Baby pixel.
Back when I was only 480p,
And nailed it.
bam! The joke of the video. Joke of the video.
Yeah.
Podcast over. We've done our job.
Jared, get us
Let's
outta
leave
here.
it in there. All right, in. Well, I'm the
Who cares if this was a
Jared.
35-minute episode at most? Fucking chair is gonna drive me
Yeah,
up a
I see you,
goddamn
like,
wall.
bobbing up and down like some kind of mating ritual. I don't know who you're trying to impress here.
Yeah,
who you trying to
he's
press
clearly humping his desk.
Probably Alex. Alex, are you impressed by this? Oh, look at that. You both got your hoods up. You both are
you
going
know,
to mate now. This is really weird. I
When
should
you
just
send
be on
out
the
a
podcast.
memo, it helps to send it out to everybody because I was not aware we were supposed to be wearing hoodies today.
Well, I didn't have my white pointy one clean, so I had to go with this one.
Your white pointer. Wow, that's weird.
Oh my god!
You didn't clean your white pointer. Oh man.
I haven't heard it called that in a while.
Well, there you go, Jared. Yeah, there we go.
Now the question is, does that stay in the video? Yeah, I'm keeping it in. It was a joke.
I'm gonna pop my collar. Oh,
I got
don't
no
have a
collar
collar.
to pop.
I know. I don't know. It's alright.
I got no hood to put up. I'm just a
I wonder
sad,
if I
lonely
can
t-shirt
balance
wearer.
this cup of water on my head for the remainder of the podcast.
I got like some like Darth Plagueis like type fucking hoodie thing going on here.
There we go.
I am Palpatine.
Alex, you are going to... You know what? I'm not even going to say it. I'm just going to let it happen.
Everything will be fine.
All right, so
What's he gonna do?
I can't do it.
First topic. Shit.
Which one is it,
I believe. Well, we didn't post them right immediately.
We
so
don't
I
need
gotta search
topics.
through our top. Well, all right, Dan, what was your topic? You
Yeah,
wanted to
Dan,
talk
what was
about?
your topic?
What's your topic?
This is your show. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
What was your topic? I also liked Alex's too. I wanted to talk more about that too.
Me too.
So can you guys talk at the same time, and we'll cover both of them?
Yeah, here we go.
Well, as you can
Alright.
see, I didn't really have a... Alex, what the hell? You were supposed to...
I don't know when you were going to start, my brother.
I started and you just listened. You're like, well, I want to hear what he has to say.
You said like 2 words. You gave me like a millisecond. I think you'd be like, "No, it's about it."
No, I don't really have a topic, so
Yeah.
I just thought of something immediately off the top of my head, and it's a very silly topic that probably nobody's going to have an answer for. But what is something that you do even though you know it's not effective or like isn't going to change anything? Like
Oh.
I don't
Like
really
this
know.
podcast?
Yeah, pretty much.
Here's a good one.
I do this
podcast.
podcast hoping that it's gonna put money in my wallet, but
Yeah.
look at this. I still only have like $2.
And a lot of receipts.
Just one receipt.
And a
What's
fuck
it
ton of
from?
games on Steam.
Yeah, that's where all the money goes.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
it was
rough.
from
Taco Bell.
Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Oh, nice. What'd you buy?
Jeez.
I bought a burrito bowl like a week ago.
Well, they get you with the guacamole.
That's what I'm going to get
Yeah,
after
watch
this
that.
podcast.
Fuck you! But no, seriously, like what is something that you do even though like you know it's not going to change anything? Like maybe even if it's like a superstition thing, like when you spill salt, you throw it over your shoulder, just like something you know it literally changes nothing, but you do it anyways.
I guess being a father, I know it's not going to change anything. I mean,
Get absolutely destroyed, son.
Get fucking wrecked.
Oh my god, your kid's gonna listen to this podcast and he's just gonna be like,
I am so excited for that day.
my kid's gonna be the kind of kid who's like who wishes his dad left him. You know?
No, here's what's
Like,
gonna.
it's like, why couldn't you be one of those deadbeat
Why couldn't you
dads?
Why
be
couldn't
your
you be like
own
grandpa?
dad? Why couldn't you be your own dad, Jared? No, but it's gonna be one of those things where like you're like this with us, but you're also like that with him. So there's gonna be like a point when he's like 8 or 9, and I'm just like, come over here, son. Do you want to see what your dad does on the internet? And I show him the video, and he's just like, yeah,
Wow.
that's a typical Friday night. I don't see what's so
You want
surprising.
to see what Daddy does on the internet?
the internet?
Depends on which website you're talking about.
No, I'm just like,
I'm gonna
you want to
teach
see
you
what your dad
exactly
does on
what
the
Dad
internet? And
does
he's
on
just
the
like, is it Pornhub? And I'm just like, yes, it is definitely Pornhub.
It's not the other Jared, it's the naked Jared.
It's all right. We talk about this in therapy.
I tend to knock on wood, or like when I say something like, "Oh man, I hope I never
Yeah,
have
I
to
do
have
that
this happen." Knock on wood, you know.
I hope that I never. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That's.
I do it all the time.
I thought you were chugging the vodka at first. I was like, "Damn, you go, man."
Yeah. Hardcore.
Oh, chug.
I have plenty inefficient things that I
think you're
do,
done,
but
Oh,
I think that was done.
I don't
I
care
think
if
that
you
was
injured
done
yourself. It was
purposely. I
worth
think
it.
that was done purposely.
I
for the
was,
podcast.
but I
But that was pretty fucking hilarious.
totally worth it. I hope you injured yourself. 'cause
I
it
don't
was
think
worth
he
it.
did that purposely because he's got that broken wheel.
The best part about that is I forgot that I put the other chair on the floor and I landed on it, which made it really loud.
Yes.
Solid, dude. Look at all that hair on your arm that I just saw.
On my arm?
Yeah, all the dog hair or whatever that's on your arm.
Damn, what a fucking
Yeah,
dog.
when my family goes out of town or whatever, they're not here. Our dog goes absolutely ape shit, and I have to
Because the alpha's out.
I have to keep her down here, otherwise she like loses her mind. So I got
So,
dog
anyways.
hairs on the floor.
So, I mean, outside of Dan falling and breaking his leg, yeah. So
I completely ripped out my headphones, so I'm gonna have to like mute some of the audio there because I'm sure you guys are coming straight into the microphone. But whatever.
Probably. So, yeah, so we know Dan's tendency, even though he knows nothing actually changes, he likes to fall out of chairs every now and again.
Oh, you know what? That's actually you made that kind of interesting. Tell us what your tendency is, Alex, and then just pick somebody in here and just predict what their tendency is.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think.
Wait,
I think. Wait,
I
before.
don't think I get it.
Just out of
Like-
respect, I think Steph was making saying her thing, and then you fell out of your chair.
Oh, I wasn't
Oh.
listening because I was chugging.
Yeah, because you were falling out of a chair. I'm just trying to make sure.
No, he just never listens to me ever.
That's
like
all
I would
right.
say
It's
things.
because he's
and...
a man. You'll get used to it.
Oh, okay. That's
Hey guys. You
should talk to my wife.
Hey man, you know what gets the fucking pot? Like, I just want a little bit of like Mary Jane.
If you want to get something, just wait till he's playing a video game. Ask him to everything you want. He'll say and then
No, I'll say yeah.
Hold it against him. That's my wife
Bald
does.
I am. If I look like this, I literally look bald.
Yeah, you
there
are.
we go. Just do the Devin Townsend thing and just.
Dude, rocking the forehead, man. That's all right. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's good. It's all good.
I don't mind it.
You're no Daryl Dixon.
Yeah, I mean, you're no Spider One, but you know.
I mean,
He
I don't
actually
mind
looks
it,
like
but what a thing to say. I don't really mind it, but
It's not a
Just like,
problem.
my wife doesn't mind that I have a small cock. It would just be better. if it was
I mean,
bigger.
I wouldn't choose it, but
Yeah, I mean, like, if I had a choice,
yeah.
like,
if I had a choice, it'd be all Mandingo up in here. But if it's you, you know, what can I say? I married you. I got no choice at this point.
I
Damn.
don't know.
son,
Oh.
That's why you marry before sex. That way they never know how small your penis is, but then they're trapped forever.
Oh, it's just propose on the first date.
Wait, so is that
Moral
the
of this
real
story.
reason? Is that the real reason why you're supposed to wait before sex until marriage?
No, it's because God said so.
Well,
Oh, now it all makes sense.
I mean,
I mean-
I don't know. Well, we could make a whole podcast. That
Oh man, Dan, you got Jared on
Let's
But
do it, Jared!
I
Let's
will
go there, bitch!
digress so that we can continue.
Jared's like, I'm not gonna give you a spiel about everything. So
Ah, give us like
You
the
screw
elevator
who
pitch
you want
version
to
of it.
screw whenever and however you want to screw.
I can screw you
But
whenever I want.
that is not my philosophy. That is all.
What is your philosophical advice?
That we have yet to finish a topic, and
Jared?
we're just all over the. Oh wait,
What
wait.
the fuck
I keep
podcast
thinking
do
we
you
have
think
structure,
you're doing?
and then I remember where I am and what
What
I'm doing.
podcast do you think you're doing right now? This is the podcast.
Yeah,
It is literally off the rails, the podcast.
I
See,
got
but
you.
like, there's some
see.
podcasts I listen to which are just like this. I don't think.
No,
it's
I
not
don't
that
listen
bad.
to podcasts. Not even this one. I mean, I just
Yeah,
usually do
I don't
No,
listen to it either. Like when I go to edit it, I just find the beginning where it's like sync, the end where it's sync, and then somehow magical edits happen throughout it. I don't know how
Yeah,
that works.
just like you throw your
Pretty
trash
sweet.
in a dumpster, you're just like, just send that shit out of here. Just get it out of here.
Well, if you're not going to talk about your beliefs, then let's move on.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. If we're gonna go there, all right.
Just-
we still have yet to go to to what Steph
The actual-
was gonna
We'll
say.
come back to
It's
it.
really,
I guess
really...
we're just gonna ignore
We'll
that.
come
we're
back
just-
to it.
Hey, Steph, what were you gonna say?
Hey, Steph, what were you going to say?
I was just gonna say that, like, whenever something good or something's like really bad happening, you know, kind of like you shouldn't say things out loud or else you'll jinx it. That's essentially what I do. Where it's like, oh man, I'm doing great so far. I don't even say it out loud. I
It's
don't
funny
talk
because
about
all
it.
your guys'
I
are going to
just-
be like superstitious,
too.
and mine's going to be like this, like completely left field, like different.
Like,
answer.
I have a bunch of things that I do in my routine that's ineffective, but I can't think about it, like, or I can't think of it right
I can't
now
think about it because it just
I
gives
can't-
me the fucking triggers. Like I just get triggered.
I just don't
So,
want to think
Dan,
about
what's
it
your
so
out
much.
of left
It's so
field
good.
one?
Well, I don't think we heard Jared's yet.
Well,
Jared,
I mean, to continue on with this, like, I'm kind of the same way. Like, I'll send an email, Andrew will be like, good luck in your bid review. I know you'll do good. And I'll be like, yeah, well, I feel prepared. And then I'll, like, knock on wood as I'm typing the email. And,
Good old drywall.
I also have this weird thing. I'm not OCD. I don't think I'm OCD, but I have OCD tendencies. Like, at night when I'm setting my alarm clock, there's, like, a button you switch. And you switch to turn on the alarm, and then you switch it the other way to turn it off. I have to do that like 5 or 6 times. I turn it on, turn it off, turn it to like convince me
To make sure that
myself
it's on?
that it's on.
I've done that before.
I know. So I know that's kind of not exactly where you were going with your
Nah,
question, but it just reminded me of that.
I also
All
have
this
OCD.
is not really where I was going, but I'm totally cool with it. I'm totally
But that's
cool
how
with
we roll.
Yeah.
I actually want to write off of what he said that I also have OCD tendencies, but like really like bad. Like not to the point where it's like I'm, I should be diagnosed with OCD, but there are a lot of things where like I do the same thing 3 times in a row, 4 times in a row.
You should
even
be
though-
committed.
Yeah.
to like an asylum.
So then I don't have
No.
OCD if I have to punch a bum in the face every day on my way to work. That's not OCD.
No, that's called being human.
Okay, cool.
No.
And
the worst is when, like, before I speak, sometimes I have to repeat the sentence, like, in my head, like, several times until it sounds right, and then I say it.
I just imagine that
It's
being
really
like as
Wow,
cartoon
that is
as
the complete opposite
possible.
of me.
Where it's just like,
There is no
hey,
review
Steph,
in
so
my
what do you
head.
think about the current state of the GDP? And then you're just like, just running it through your, like, it's like a Mass Effect thing. You're just like,
There's like a dialogue.
Well, I
like,
actually
there's
think that the
dialogue
current
with
state
an
is in a pretty
X,
good
Y, A,
place.
B in your head, and you're like, which one do I want to choose?
it's not even that it's repeated. Like, she just literally gets a dialogue tree in her face, and she's like,
Sometimes you hear her mutter like A, and then she says what she's gonna say.
No, Steph's like gonna be, she's gonna be like president one day, and she's just like giving
Wow.
a speech to the world, and so she's
Damn.
just sitting there, and she's on the podium, and so she's just ready for a speech, and before she's okay, Miss Steph, you what do you got to say? There's like fans galore, like there's just like crowds, and she's just like. And everybody's
But my
on.
favorite part about that is then she snaps into it, like, perfectly on point. Because that's what I said. It's like, what's the current state of the GDP? And she's just like, well, actually, I think that it's in a pretty good state right now. I mean, there's some problems with, like, the influx and deflux and inflation, but, like, and she just snaps into it. Like that pause never existed.
It beats the alternative, which is Donald Trump, which is, you don't.
Changing topics.
get absolutely destroyed.
I'm not saying anything bad about anybody who might vote for said Republican. All I'm saying is that this man is like, there is no load time. It's just like it's constant fire.
Isn't it weird how this part of the podcast is just like a dead tone the entire time?
The only thing that made that bad was your guys' reaction. Like, I was not saying anything bad about him.
I just don't
piece
like
of shit.
Trust me, I'm not even gonna go really into this. I got into somebody really close to me said some really fucked up shit based off of having any sort of like political conversation, and so now I'm just not doing it with anybody. Just it gets bad. There's no way, like, unless you know the person and you know for a fact they're gonna be okay, there's no way you can ever bring up politics and it.
Dude, I was joking when I was saying
that person
Ross
wants to
Perot
make
should
America
run.
great
he was
again.
joking.
Yeah, I was
Jokes.
joking when I was talking about Ross Perot. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, a lot of people aren't going to get that reference, so that was.
I know I didn't.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Dan, are you okay?
Showing my age here.
Being absorbed by the screen.
I'm showing these great age.
I was joking when I said President Washington would become president.
I remember when Jefferson was running for.
Back in my day, before there were words as originals, I was with Ronald Reagan. Wait, that was like recent. He's like, doesn't even know. He's just so old. He's just like 4,500 years ago when Ronald Reagan was president.
In a galaxy far, far away,
Back when Jesus was a dinosaur.
I was running against Yoda for the Galactic Republic.
Back when I was
that's
hunting
when-
with Grover Cleveland in the 17th century before World War VI.
It was so long ago that Obi-Wan Kenobi was there, and Captain Spock said this.
Sorry, he
whatever
gets
that
like this when he
means.
runs out of his Werther's originals. We just need to restock here.
He's just talking, and you're just like putting in his mouth. It's like, I really do like when the Senate is. You're just like
Passes out.
Yeah, you're forcing the words. Oh, this is pleasant.
Chokes on it and dies. All right. Anyway,
I
so
feel like the Enterprise flew over my house yesterday. It must be those crazy kids again.
they're back again.
Tried to go
Anyway.
those Don Clegg.
Back
Anyways.
when Harry Potter met Gandalf, it was a really weird time on the Starship Enterprise. Like, just completely.
Just completely fudged.
Just every single, like, thing there ever was just gets, like, put into, like, a blender, and he just spits it out in, like, any order.
Back when
Gollum
the
had
high-
the one late cyber to rule them all. It's just like,
Back
what is...
when the high tax-paying dinosaurs were trying to take over the world, they thought the stock market would crash, but Turns out the stock market's just a ship on the starships.
And that's when
Getting ahead of
Qui-Gon
myself.
Jinn killed Hitler in World War XIV.
You'll see the T-Rexes were Democrat and the Stegosauruses were Republican.
I
the
remember
battles
when
that went
John
on.
Wayne Gacy came over to my
All
house
right.
for a little...
All right, yeah, okay. Anyways, none of that makes
That was
think Evan-
good. You guys, we finally had a bit going on, and you guys
No, it wasn't.
interrupted.
Too long. Too long.
There's no such thing, Alex.
That's
No,
what
there-
you wish.
There is. You need that person because when I was a kid growing up with my friend, we would go on these little rants, and it was his little brother's job to stop us when it went on too long.
the
Like, he
rants
would
are funny.
Just be in it there and be like, "All right, guys, you've went on too long. Time to go on
They're
to
too
the
off
subject."
topic, Daniel.
There's no such thing. That's the entire point of this podcast.
Well, if
How
it
long
wasn't-
have you been on this thing?
Well, if it was the entire point, we wouldn't have started over.
No, we started over because it was bad, not because we got off topic.
We started over because he wanted me to feel bad because I was hosting it, and he was like, "Well, you suck. We're
All right,
restarting."
downers, we were having fun and everybody's bringing it down. Let's get back up.
Dan's bringing some positive reinforcement back.
Let's do it. Come on, idiot.
Yeah.
Positive reinforcement. Oh, so close.
But to answer my question, the thing that I do that I know changes nothing is like, I'll have a water bottle and I'll use it for like 2 or 3 days or whatever. And then on day 3, I'm like, this water bottle's not clean anymore. And then I'll just run it under like the tap on like the hottest water there is. Even though it's not nearly hot enough to kill anything on it, like not even close. So I'm just like, this'll clean it. And I'm running under hot water, it's steaming. And I'm like, it's clean, but it's probably just as dirty as before. But I still like it's clean now, and I fill it up and I'm drinking.
I did that
also
once with
had
a
this
cheeseburger in the
tendency.
trash.
Yeah.
Dan-
Go ahead, sorry.
He also had this tendency where, like, pretend it's a water bottle, because I don't have a water bottle with me, but he would drink all of the water with the exception of this much
Hey!
left. He would leave this, listen, he would
Hold
leave
on,
this
hold on.
left, alright? He would accumulate at least 5 to 10 of these bottles. And I would be like, hey, Dan, we could probably combine this water and you would have a whole water. Like, are you going to finish that? He's like, nope. It's too late.
That was
It's
years
ruined.
ago, okay?
It's gone.
So you're
That
the
was-
little
Throw it away.
girl
And
on
he
the movie
literally,
Signs.
he drains
with
it down the sink. And I'm like, dude, it's got
an amoeba in it.
it's got an
contaminated.
amoeba on
It's
it.
contaminated.
Like, he thinks if he leaves the water there for a couple days, with the cap closed and all that, it's going to be, ruined. And
You're
I'm thinking,
putting words in my mouth, girly girl.
You know why
that's
I
what-
think
no.
that is? Why you're like that? It's because you had premarital sex.
I've never had sex.
no, we're
Just
we're
kidding.
both. We're both.
I'm just kidding. I
I don't even know what sex is.
I was just
What-
trying
what
to do
is
the little
that?
thing. that didn't
Nobody's
work
even
out.
touched my pencil dick.
It's alright.
I've never seen it.
It's nothing to be ashamed of.
And she's
wait.
tried to see it. It was
I
just so
tried.
small. It just wasn't. Like, she's just like, it was like kind of cutting through like brush. She's just like moving it over, just like, where is it? I can't fucking find
So
it.
I guess all those endless nights in the closet were nothing to you then. Alright, well, that's
No, I
that's
enjoyed
kinda hurtful.
myself. I just don't know what you were
Well,
doing
you
the whole
say
time.
that you're a virgin, but then I guess all those endless nights of the you know what? I'm just too hurt to even talk about it. Just
Wait, it's
like
only
I'm
a
not- like I'm
virgin if you
nothing.
put your penis into something else, right? Because you were doing me the whole time. I'm still a virgin, right? Because I
This
didn't
is
put
all
my
news to
penis
me.
in.
I feel like if there's a hole being penetrated, like it could be the ear hole.
Oh no, we
and you're
definitely,
having
me and
sex.
you definitely did the ear hole. Yeah, that happened.
yeah.
No, then I'm not a
That's-
virgin.
It's the best hole. Okay,
I
it got
agree.
weird. It got weird really quick.
That's the
And
best.
I apologize
hole.
for that.
It always gets weird. Let's go on. Go
Yeah.
on, move
Moving
on.
on.
Go on,
Move
move on, move
Let's
on.
group
Speaking
on.
of ear holes,
Great
Let's
poop
get a
on.
group on.
so
Alright,
what's
so
your
next
favorite
topic.
pizza? No.
I like
All
that.
right, so yeah, next topic. Something that actually has some subject matter.
Hey, what are you trying to say about my topic?
I'm just kidding. I was seeing if you're paying
You know what's
attention.
funny? Dan used to always give us shit for not having topics, and now Dan's coming here not having any topics.
I had a topic.
a little
Yeah,
bit
it's
of,
all-
The knock on wood thing, I guess.
I was a topic.
Well, none of us addressed it.
Well,
but-
let's be fair. There was 2 people who posted topics that were probably going to take a while. I figured we didn't need anything, and if I needed something,
Yeah.
I'd come up with something, and I came up with something.
Yeah, I always get some, but mine's not as good as your two's were.
Oh,
Oh,
Nice,
yeah,
baby.
because mine definitely was real great. How did
but
I
let's-
end up over here?
Well, I'm kind of interested because Alex posted his, and I wanted to kind of get his feedback on it. and that is I'm looking. Oh shit, what's it called again? I'm completely unprepared.
Souls Project.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. What are your thoughts on that?
So I was just like scrolling through my Xbox Live Marketplace yesterday, and I saw like they have little things on the side, free game, gold game of the month, whatever. And I saw, you try the Souls Project free, and I kind of clicked on it, and I was like, this is weird. And then I read that it was kind of still like in the works, kind of an early access thing where they sort of have like the majority of the stuff completed, they have the majority of the game completed, but they kind of just wanted to like put it out there to sort of polish up some stuff, let people play it, try to find bugs before they actually release it, which I think they're planning on releasing it. I think it was set in May or something like that. Just around the time that No Man's Sky is coming out. But anyway.
No Man's Sky is coming out in June.
Yeah, well, the May, June, they're pretty close. So,
so
I was like, what?
Carry on.
Yeah, so I was like, I'll give it a shot. And, I first downloaded it. And it's apparently like I downloaded it, and you know how you can keep the game going in the background, and I exited and was doing something else on my Xbox. Then it like completely turned off, and I just started over like 6 times because I didn't even get to play it. And then it wasn't starting, so I had to uninstall it and reinstall, and I was like, fuck. But once I actually finally did play it,
I was like, fuck.
Good old Microsoft.
And I was like, fuck.
And I was like, fucking shit, dude. But once I started playing it and I started reading up on it, I was like, wow, this actually seems kind of cool. Just primarily because it sort of encompasses quite a few different factors of gameplay that I enjoy, which is space. As you can't tell, I enjoy space a little bit. You can see that.
About it.
Space exploration and like crafting puzzles. There's just a lot of stuff that got into it. And I guess the background of the story is you crashed on a planet. And you're by yourself, and you think you're by yourself anyways, and the whole point of it is to try to survive, explore this world, find resources, and find tools to create like a beacon that you can use to communicate with Earth that you're still alive. And there aren't any monsters to fight. There's not really anything to do, like there's no combat, I guess you should say. It's really just more of like you are exploring. You have to dodge obstacles. There's monsters that are around there, or there are things that'll pop out of the walls that'll try to kill you. But it's like an open free roam game, puzzle game, science, sci-fi, early access, and I played it for 60 minutes and I thought it was a lot of fun. The graphics were pretty good. I'm gonna buy it on PC, of course.
But I mean, not having combat's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, those of us who are fans of the Portal series,
right?
Would
exactly. Well, and that's sort of what it reminded me of. It kind of reminded me of a mix between Portal, Minecraft, and
Dead Space.
Yeah, Dead Space. Because
I was just guessing, but I'm glad that actually worked.
I mean, it sort of is, because I mean, you can craft things, you can do things like that. You can explore. And the cool thing is there's a little bit of a structure to it, which is cool. They say, the next task is to try to, get through this barrier, to get to the other side to try to discover this noise or something that you're finding. And then you have to go explore around. And I sat there for like 30 minutes jumping over this rubble trying to figure out how the fuck to do it. Then I wandered a little bit further, found a teleportation gun that you can shoot. You can press another button and it'll like teleport you to that little place that you just shot in. So I was like, oh, that's pretty sweet. So it makes you think, and it was just all around a pretty cool game, and I think it has a lot of potential to be pretty good. But it got me thinking, what people think about early access, early alpha gameplay, and is it something that everybody should partake in? Is it do you think that people, developers should be, having you pay for stuff like this? Because obviously, paying for it on Steam, the full game isn't even out yet, but you're going to be playing it. So I just kind of wanted to get everybody's opinions on, how they feel about early access stuff. Should the devs be charging you for this? Is the money going for, the continuing development of the game? Is what people feel like? Has your experiences of early access gaming been something that's good? Been something that's generally kind of crappy? With I mean, I know there haven't really been too many early access games that I've played. I mean, outside of this, the only one that I can really think of is Minecraft, and Minecraft was just always a sort of in the works sort of continuous process, and I've had good experiences from both of those. But outside of those, I haven't really had anything. But I'm sure you guys have had different experiences with them, so I just want to get your thoughts.
Two things. Did you record yourself playing that? Do you have any video of that?
I didn't.
We can give you a shout out for that, or
I wish. No, I wish I did, and I thought about it, but I was trying to, and that was when the stupid game. I had to re-download the game, and I was like, "Fuck this!" And so I.
No, you were like, "Fuck."
Yeah, I was like, fucking shit.
Oh, duh.
No, but I didn't record it. But I should have, but I didn't.
All right. Well, so
should have, could have, would have, but did it.
So yeah, all of his gameplay you guys don't get to witness, so it sucks for you and us, because it'd be nice to. Oh well. Anyways,
can I just say something just a random side note? Watching Alex's Let's Play videos are always some of the most interesting things, because when a lot of people Let's Play, they're like, oh, what's going on over here? I'm going to do this thing. And then it's very personal. But Alex is basically just hey, everybody, let me talk about how this game works for 35 minutes. And it's literally it's just it's an informative video the entire time. I did my Division beta thing, and then I threw on Alex's Division beta, and mine's all this one-off thing. What am I going to do? What's all this other stuff? And I listen to Alex is so this is a cool thing about the game. And did you know that this is in the game? And I like this part about the game. And it's just a completely different style of video. So I imagine we're sitting here being hey, I would like to see the the video for Alex. He probably had some crazy stuff happen, but he's probably so this is the teleporter gun, and if you look over on that wall, you can use the and it'd be an interesting video, but it's not what you'd expect. It's not a video that you expect when you watch it.
It's like a tutorial.
I find that it's crazy fascinating. You should do tutorials or walkthroughs or stuff like that, because you have that down.
I'm so pissed I didn't.
You have that down.
God, well, when I get my PC, whenever I decide to get it, I will record a video of me playing it, but it won't be for the first time. Shut up, dog.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. He's too adorable.
But yeah, I did enjoy the game, and so if I think there's a way to get early access on the PC. Maybe I didn't really look hard on Steam, but it is definitely on the Xbox. So if any of you were intrigued.
I think we're all gonna have to do rapid fire responses, because Jared's got 10 minutes.
Right. I haven't even heard a text or anything from my wife yet. I don't know if she's just having a late day at work or what.
No idea. Steph, what is your opinion of Access games?
Access.
Early access games, and I mentioned this a little earlier before the podcast, where this dev is doing early access right, where they have pretty much 80 to 90% of the game completed, and they are just working with almost a kind of the final comb through of going through the game and having bug testing and tweaking, things like that. Early access games that occurred during the alpha stage, pre-alpha, way too early with hardly any features, or most of the features are there but they're broken. It's very problematic, because it's one of those things where the first impression of it, because at the end of the day, even though you've got customers, buying your early access and giving you feedback, at the end of the day, they are your customers. These are the people who are supposed to be getting your final product. They're not beta testers. And I know you can say as much as you want during the description. At the end of the day, that's how they're going to feel, because that's what a lot of people are kind of accustomed to dealing with. So, in addition to being a bad impression of the game, it's just an absolute mess. So, I've played early access games where the features weren't really there, and another problem that would happen is that you would spend maybe 10 or so hours in the game, and you're that's it, I'm done with the game. And even though months down the road they added new features, I'm less inclined to go back to the game, because in my mind, I'm done with the game. I'm done playing it, and I felt that way, and I would feel that way despite not actually, playing the full content. But that's just what happens with early access games. That's why I like this game here, because it seems like majority of the features are there. You're just playing an early version of it.
Well, it's funny that you specifically said alpha, because my one sentence response to Alex is early access is fine in beta. It's not fine anything before. In my opinion. Now, there's a lot of people who are going to completely disagree with me. There's a lot of games out there that people play hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of that are in alpha, and they swear by it. But I guarantee you, if you went on to Steam, because Steam has the most early access games as far as I can tell, you go onto Steam, and you pick 100 early access games, I guarantee you 80 to 90% of them suck.
Yeah.
And are just crap.
So where does my $15 for the early access go? That's my question. I'm not.
What?
I've never done the early access
What'd you say?
thing.
I missed what you said.
So where does my $15
To the developer?
Well, I know, but like so. Let's say I pay $15 for this game so I can play it, sort of like a demo. I don't know what. I mean, I'm new to the whole early access game, so. Is early access? Do you get the whole game as it is now? Is it like a beta? I don't. And does my $15 go towards when the final release comes out? Do they subtract $15 from it? Like, I don't know how the whole early release thing works.
To be honest, I don't know fully because I've never bought into early access. Like, I think I own... That's not true. I bought one early access.
You get the full game as it comes out. You get updates.
You don't have to pay
free.
for it, though, right?
You don't have to pay for it.
Game,
No.
$15.
There
but
might
I
be-
want to make sure my $15 is going to be wasted. That's
No,
all.
no, no.
You
It's-
basically, you're buying the game for $15 for it to be shit for a while.
Yeah.
But the problem with early access, and the main thing that I have a problem with it, and you can even look up statistics online, they have them a lot of there, most early access games never come out fully. They just stay in early access, they never get finished, and you bought a poopy game.
And they stay in this limbo state for a while.
I mean, they're making money off of it, so why? I mean, maybe the motivation is lacking there. I mean, I'm not saying I know.
Well,
But-
a lot of devs get in over their heads.
I see.
Is
I
what it
don't
really
know.
comes down to. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not dissing on early access because I think the greatest showing of it done perfectly is Minecraft. Minecraft did early access perfectly because when Minecraft came out, it was really, really bare bones, but it was basically beta quality. It just didn't have a lot. Like, it wasn't like, well, the animations aren't complete, and these are temporary character models, and this part of the world isn't even built, and, like, all that shit. It was basically like, the game runs. It's beta. There's just not a lot to do in it. We're going to give you more of that later. And that's okay, but, like, a specific game, and I don't want to talk crap on them because I actually enjoyed the game. I've owned a couple early access games. The only one that I ever bought was Slime Rancher, but the one that I'm going to talk about specifically is 7 Days to Die. A couple of my friends were like in love with it, and they bought, 7 Days to Die for me so I could play it with them. And while that game has a really cool concept, it is just really difficult to play because it's so not complete. It's so rudimentary. And like, I was actually watching the guy who bought it for me. He was streaming him playing the game like a month ago, and it's a completely different game now. Like, they completely changed the animations. There's like new ways that the game works. There's like health and hunger and all this stuff has been redone and like all this shit, and it's just a completely different game. And it still looks not complete. It still looks very, very like pre-alpha state. And I'm just like, I like quality with my games. And while I had fun, I probably have actually. I'm not going to load it up. I probably have like 30 plus hours in the early access, and somebody could say, well, that was worth the $30. You could argue that, and or the $15 I think it was when I bought it, or they bought it. Then that's a completely fine argument. But those 30 hours weren't the same 30 hours I would have had if this game was fully completed. The game being fully completed would have probably been significantly better 30 hours than that beginning state.
And that's what I think.
But the Fun Pimps, sorry, one more thing, Alex. The Fun Pimps are the guys that develop it. They're still doing it better than a lot of early access devs. A lot of early access devs suck. Like, these guys are doing it better than most, but it still feels very incomplete. And I don't like that. I don't like feeling like I'm playing a game that was never finished.
That's why I think. That's why I think that like, this is kind of like. This is kind of like more of like a multiplayer. I'm reading something about multiplayer right now. Sorry.
Stop reading.
It's more of a. I was reading frequently asked questions about the Souls, whatever.
Yeah.
But no, that's why I think the Souls project is in a lot of ways going down the same path as Minecraft did, where you'd buy the game, and when Minecraft came out, right, 75-80% of the game was completed, and they continuously added on to their end vision of what it was supposed to be, and that's what I think is cool about this is that they say that early access was actually only released for this, I think maybe a couple weeks ago. I think it was February 18th and February 24th for the Xbox One. So it hasn't been something that's been out very long. But they do say, that they offer pretty major updates every 2 to 4 weeks. So you're expecting a pretty major update once a month, which was sort of how Minecraft worked too. Every month, couple months, there was a pretty big, pretty substantial update to the game, which drastically changed the gameplay.
That's how Minecraft still is.
Right.
You can buy the full version, but they're still going to give you content updates every couple of months.
Right. And no, I was actually curious about the because someone was saying, I was telling someone about it, and someone said, "Oh, well, it's not a multiplayer game," and I knew that it had to be one of the questions. Will it ever get multiplayer? And the devs basically said this game is by design strictly single player, which is cool.
Yeah.
Which is cool by me. But I think. They're saying no. The differences between Xbox One and PC versions are, PC version will usually be slightly further in updates, just instead of the Xbox One, just some basic information, and you can find all this if you Google it. But I think I think if you buy the game now, it'll sort of act as a Minecraft, where they'll just continuously updating it until they're full.
Yeah, and it sounds like it is like it's beta point basically, where like the game is mostly complete. They're just actually testing it.
Sounds like they're putting some work into it, though. I mean, the graphics look good, and
well, that's the thing. But here's the thing that I wanted to say that's actually really interesting. I had heard of the Solus project. It was Steam has like the recommended for you, and you can like go through your queue of like 11 titles every day or whatever. And it was actually one of the titles that they showed me a couple weeks back. And I literally looked at it, scrolled down to see that it said early access, and I just clicked skip. Because early access to me is not, most of it's crap. So I don't even bother 95% of the time. And that actually kind of sucks, because now that you've shown me this and you've talked about it and Steph was telling me about the history of the developer, I'm actually really interested in this game now. And I'm probably going to go look at it. But early access has grown, not only to me, but a lot of people, to be such a negative thing. This project got completely looked over by me just for being early access. I literally saw it, looked at it, said early access, and I just clicked next, because I just don't care most of the time about early access games. So that's actually kind of sucks. I'm gonna have to go back and
I think devs need to sort of take like stuff like Minecraft and things like this into, sort of take it as a learning tool to see, maybe we should be doing early access in this way,
But here's the thing. Most people who are doing early access are doing it because they can't make the game otherwise.
Right.
Which means they're probably small, recent grads or new people to do it with, not a lot of people behind it. And it's just like, I'm going to have to devote work amount of hours, like 40 hours a week, to this project, but I can't do that without money. So I'm just going to get it to the point where it's playable, then put it out there and people can buy it so I can make money.
But there's something to
and
be
that's
said
not necessarily a bad thing,
Right.
but it usually means that most of the projects are poop.
Yeah, but there's something to be said that when that's coming from a company who has a good history, like Mojang, whatever they're called, who did Minecraft, if they come out with an early access game, it's going to have more credibility than, your average
If
early release
Mojang
game. And
came
it sounds
out
like
with
this company has some credibility to back up, a good release of an early access game.
Yeah, if Mojang came out with an early access game, I think the internet would actually catch fire, because they are rolling in money right now. They don't need to do early access.
Yeah,
and that's kind of the bitter, reality about early access is it's the same thing with crowdfunding. If a big dev crowdfunds, then people are just gonna be like, "Fuck you, you have money." But then if the only people crowdfunding are the people that don't have money, that means they're usually the smaller time, less people, indie people, and that means that most of what's crowdfunded or most of what's on early access isn't good. Now, don't get me wrong, there's been a lot of big names crowdfunding. There was, when Irrational got split up by Ken Levine basically kicking everybody out, there was a bunch of different people from Irrational that formed separate little groups, and I think there was at least 2, but I thought 3 ex-BioShock dev projects from new companies of devs that went to Kickstarter, and I think most of them failed. Like, most of them didn't reach their goal. So that's just a random aside. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but like, I mean, if a big company like, let's say Bethesda does an early access game, the benefit of that is they've got now millions of playtesters giving feedback on this game.
But that's why Bethesda
the big dime on it, you know.
But that's why Bethesda
so there's a benefit to doing it.
Would do a beta. Because Bethesda doesn't need our money.
So the question is beta versus
that's
early access.
That's a whole other thing. And I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm not necessarily saying that I agree. But there's going to be a lot of people. I mean, like, what happens, because we got the Division beta, right? And that was really cool. I let a lot of people play it. They got their data that they needed to. What if the Division beta was like, well, it's early access, you have to pay for it? You know, if big companies start doing early access, then what happens to betas? Do you have to pay to test a game? Do I have to give you money for me to work for you, basically, and test your game for you? Like, it becomes a slippery slope.
That money needs to go towards something, just like a Kickstarter.
Well, it would, and it would go towards their pockets, but you're literally paying them so that you could do their work.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If I'm going to pay money to play test a game for you, I look at it as like a Kickstarter. Like, all right, I paid you money and this goes through. Give me something back. You know,
get the game.
Even if it's like your
just
first
get the
DLC
game.
Or something,
right?
or
I think
that much money off of the game. I don't care. I just want.
Well,
something.
you just get the game. That's how it works. Usually, early access. Like, for example, if you bought a game for $15. And then the game eventually becomes a $60 release, you bought the game for $15. Right. That's what you get by investing into early access.
And I think that's what's going to happen with this game. Oh,
so if this game comes out at sorry to interrupt, but so this game comes out at $60. I paid $16 for it.
Yeah,
I get the game for $16.
Yeah. You've already had it.
So that's cool. Okay.
And again, and like I said, with the Solus project, that's a good investment. You were like, because the game's going to come out. Obviously, I mean, we can't say that for sure, but it looks like it's pretty probable that the game's going to come out. It's in a good state. You're getting a good deal. That's not, 75+% of what's on early access. Right. It's usually going to be kind of crap.
It's like investing in stock. You take a risk.
It is an investment.
Right.
No, it really is.
It is an investment. And that's what I think, that was like the same
But the only return on investment you get is the game.
Right.
You're not making money off of it.
Cheaper.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I mean, I bought Minecraft, I think, before they ended up rating. I mean, I don't know how much Minecraft is now, but I think I only bought Minecraft for like $15, something like that. I don't know if I bought it for
how much is Minecraft right now?
I don't know, but I know that I bought it for cheaper than it is now. And I think that's what the Solus project is going to be. I mean, if you buy it now, they're going to keep on updating it, and if they eventually come out with like the Solus project whenever they want to release it, it may be more than $15. But hey, you bought it $15, so that's it. Now you got it. And they, constantly bring out updates, major updates, at least once a month. So.
Yeah, so I'm just as like a final note for mine, like a summary. It's just like, I don't really necessarily have anything against early access. I don't think it's a bad business practice. I don't think that it's like inherently wrong. I just think a lot of people abuse it, and I think a lot of what's on it is poop.
Man,
poop. But
tis the story of the industry.
An example of something that I actually bought though from early access that I have no problem with, and I've had a blast from time doing it, is that Slime Rancher game. That is a very simple game, and really you could probably get everything out of it within 10 hours, 12 hours, if you're playing it, like, effectively. But the game is so fun and polished as it is, and you know that they're going to keep adding to it, that I had no problem with it because the reviews were great. I've seen people playing it, and it just looked fun. That's not the case for most of the early access stuff I see. Most early access stuff is like, well, I mean, it's okay for like a fucking pre-alpha's alpha. Like, so.
A small little note is from a YouTuber's broadcasting on Twitch perspective. There's the big players out there who get a lot of the games coming out. They get them early, and they can release them. Maybe the benefit of early access is you get it at the same time as anybody else gets it. And you can get your content out there and broadcast it and give your feedback and potentially get some views that way on a game, and as opposed to the big players who are going to have it most content before you have it. I don't know. It's a small thing, but if you put everybody on an even playing field, then that increases your potential to get views, I guess.
Yeah, like I said, I have nothing against early access. Like I said, I think it can be used really well.
It's a gamble. Yeah.
It can be used really well a lot of the time. I just think majority of it is not used well.
So now you'll have to check it out because you're welcome.
I'm gonna actually take a little look into it.
For $15, that's pocket change. To invest in something that looks pretty. Well, I mean, for a game that they could sell for $60 based on how it looks.
Yeah. To me, $2 is pocket change.
Yeah,
and actually, it's not in pocket change. This is how much money I have.
Anything smaller than a 50, so
yeah.
Well, it was funny. I just I don't know if you guys ever heard of I think it's called like Humble Bundle or something like that.
Yeah.
My buddy just told me about like this. They were doing something with all these Star Wars games. I got like 12 different Star Wars games for like $10. And that money goes charity. That money helps devs. Like, and I was like, fuck it. I mean, I'm getting like 10 Star Wars games for like $10 or something like that. I got like, it's the like Knights of the Old Republic and the second one, which are easily $10 or $15 values for the two of them alone. So it was just like whatever. So
it's awesome. Yeah,
something else.
Yeah, no, Humble Bundle is a good thing to check.
Yeah,
I've gotten some things, but if you're gonna do a Humble Bundle, a lot of people pay drastically too low. Like they'll find like the bare minimum to get their stuff, and then they'll pay that.
Yeah.
And like if you're really strapped for cash and you literally cannot afford to give any more, then that's fine. But I know a lot of people who are really well off, who are just like 25 games, minimum is $6. Oh, I'm just giving $6. It's like, dude, give them some money. You're getting 6 fucking games, Give them a little bit of support.
Yeah. No, they do a lot of good stuff, which I just learned about today, which I thought that was pretty cool. So.
Or give them the $6 and then donate the rest to a charity that you support.
Yeah, just do something. So. Like, don't just skimp as much as you possibly. Because that's one of the most like disappointing things. Is it'll be like pay this $1 to get these games, but if you pay more than the average, you'll get these games, and then the average will be like $1.25, and it's just like. Guys, that average should be a lot higher. Give them some fucking support for that.
Throw them 5 bones.
I don't think that I've ever paid less than $20 for a Humble Bundle, like ever, and that was probably the least I paid. So,
the least I paid was 10, but
you fucking piece of shit.
It was actually $9.99, but
wow, you couldn't even give them that other cent.
Look,
so
at the time, I didn't even know what it was, and I was sort of like, "Oh, $9.99 is how much it costs for these games." Okay, like at the time,
got the games.
Yeah, I didn't know that. It was, I didn't know what else went into it outside of that. So,
I just like the idea that it's just like you type in $10 and you're just like, no, $9.99. Like you can't even do the full 10.
Yeah, $1 you need to pay. Point.
Well, that's the same mentality that made gas be 99.9 cents.
Well, it's literally the same. Put you an overdraft in your account, but $9.99 won't. So you'll have 1 cent in your bank account, and you won't get.
That's why I did it, because it would have overdrafted my account.
Yeah, trust me, I've seen your bank account, and I know for a fact that's not true.
Yeah. It is.
That's also weird that I can say that I've seen your bank account.
Well,
when I hacked it.
Well, real friends give real friends their bank account number, social security number.
So that's why you've never given me that stuff, Jared. Because
I'm still waiting on your guys' response to those questions. By the way,
here's my social security number.
Social security number
1-2-3-4
56 7890.
No, it's 1-2-3-4-5.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, I did too many in the beginning.
DanPixel at YouTube.com.
Yeah. Dan Pixel.
None of those
YouTube.
are numbers. I know. Type it in.
My
it's
social
like your
security
phone.
number is danpixel at youtube.ca. You're from Canada?
It's just like, can I get your social security number? It's like, yeah, LIKECOMMENT, the little and symbol, SUBCRIBE.
5 or 9er.
Like and subscribe.
MICKEYMOUSE.
Like, comment, subscribe. That's my social security
Like, comment,
number.
subscribe on my shit, bitch.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, my subscriber. Dude, it's not that big, dude.
You're right.
Oh, well, no.
I can't even. I'm trying to do like a tiny motion.
It's only as big as it is in your mind.
Wow, is that true? Man, I gotta think.
Yeah, that's what I tell myself in the mirror every day when I wake up.
It didn't work.
You can think it bigger.
Think it,
Honey, what are
You are
you
better
doing?
than you
Fake it
actually
till you
are.
make it.
Better than you actually are.
What are you
It
doing?
ends up being exactly like Steph when she's thinking. You just like you and your wife are about
When
to do like
she's
sexual
thinking.
things,
You
and
make
you're
her
just
sound like
like
a robot.
you're like she's like okay, and she pulls down your pants, and you're just like, but it's just because you're trying to think of it, just like growing. You're just like
Processing.
All right, we're good.
Overload. Blue screen.
blue balls.
Blue balls. Blue screen. All right. Well, anything else? I think that's.
There's gonna be a
That's-
lot of editing on this one.
That sounds
Yeah,
like a good
there is.
ending point for a podcast such as this.
Yeah, I think so.
End on an ejaculation note.
An ejaculate note. I can't do it.
Ejaculate.
Has anybody ever else thought that's like the weirdest like jerk off thing where people go like, and they just like throw it like?
Look at the blood. That's a Silence of the Lambs.
Well, I
thing,
was
isn't
gonna
it?
say,
Look at
was
the
he just
blood.
trying to be like a Silence of the Lambs thing? Is that how that came out?
I don't know.
Nobody knows. I
Jared,
guess it
get
must
us
be
outta
a
here.
mystery for next time.
Mystery of the world. Just like how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
Get us
I thought
out
it
of
was
here.
two.
Just never- All right. Well, I think that's all we have. So thanks everybody for listening. Please feel free to hit that like button. Avoid the dislike button. Leave any comments you like that are in good taste. For the Grunting Podcast, I'm the other Jared. Got Alex,
Yo.
Steph,
Hey.
and the Dan Pixel. On that note, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Donald Trump!